The ultimate show about sports entertainment in the world of professional wrestling. Learn the ins and the outs of the storylines, the talent on each platform. Let me tell you something, brother. Airs every second for Tuesday of each month, right here, 7:15 p.m.
You better buckle up because this is the most exciting, electrifying show here. 21.6 the net. Let me tell you something, brother, with Tim and Tom. But, you know, Tim's hanging out down in where? Tennessee.
I want to say Memphis, Tennessee, like Andy Kaufman used to say.
Memphis,
Nashville.
Right? Down there in Nashville.
Winning some awards or something.
Some fancy award.
Being a great guy, in the industry and the health markets field. So
you're going to see Uncle Pete, God rest his soul. He's got the StreamYard URL. Copy that, put it into your URL, join the show live. Come on and ask our guy, Tom, anything that you want about wrestling. Night of Champions coming up. The tag team belts, 216 tag team belts are on the line this coming Sunday, 27th. Saturday. Yeah.
Because they're too chicken to defend on Sunday too with the 8.
Yeah, they got scared there.
They're always scared about
a little pee shrivel or something.
That's something. Shrinkage. SG3 should know a lot about that.
That's it. Of course, because it's Tom's show.
It is my damn show.
Look who's looking right over his shoulder tonight, folks. That's the one, the only
special guest.
The best there was.
Best there is.
Best there ever will be. Bret Hart, of course. 216 is proud to say that Tom's Productions is sponsoring this show. Of course, Health Market's over there with Santos too, but they're in Tennessee. So great stuff. How was your week, brother? That's a great answer.
Hey, I'm trying to get this whole thing shared right now. You start the show, and I didn't say we can start yet. Like, what is this?
Hey, look, you got your stuff. You're ready to go.
I'm in awe. We got Bret here.
Yes.
Little Bret here. Oh, he's down here.
He's down here hanging. Right. There he is.
Used to the mirrors.
He's got his glasses on. They doesn't have black eyes, folks.
So speaking of Bret, like this past Sunday, they had the Hidden Treasure show on A&E. A&E had the Hidden Treasure show, and Bret Hart was the feature guy. Trying to get some of his relics back. So the items were, they were trying to get the screw job sunglasses. They were trying to get, his leather coat from WrestleMania 8 through SummerSlam 92.
Right.
So that's when he wrestled Roddy Piper, and that was a passing of the torch because Roddy Piper didn't lose for anyone.
Right.
And he, not only would he not lose for anyone, he wouldn't get pinned.
Yeah.
And he let Bret pin him and say, hey, you're one of us, and that's
big time.
Passing the torch, and you're ready.
That leather coat was signature too.
It was.
I mean,
it was like a skull with, I want to say, little wings, and
it was badass.
It was pretty cool when the start of the whole coat era.
Yeah.
So it turns out with that coat, I was a fan in Indianapolis, diehard Bret Hart fan like myself, a little bit probably more so with money wise, collecting all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Somehow got that coat at an auction or something, and has it in his display. Mick Foley knew he had it because he was on Hidden Treasures last year, and Foley had to make an agreement with him, like, hey, you give this item up, I'll come watch the pay-per-view with you and eat chicken wings, and we'll just have a great time together. So he brought Natalia with to go down there, and this dude was not going to part with that jacket.
Yeah.
It was like, as a Hitman fan, you're not going to give that up.
That's hard.
That's something that's hard. So they're going to give him $10,000 for it, and there's not a monetary thing you can do. I'm not giving it up. Then Mick Foley's like, well, I wasn't going to say this, but after WWE's done displaying it on their tours, the jacket is actually going back to Bret.
Really?
And once he said that, then the whole guy's tone changed. He's like, well, get me, I always want one of Bret's signature drawings, because in the locker room, he used to always do cartoons to keep the attitude kind of loose and good morale. Make the Boys Laugh.
No
is what he
shit.
called.
Huh?
So
Yeah.
he's quite the cartoon artist. So he got like the $10,000 plus the artwork from Brett. And it was like the look on Brett's face when like he had the jacket back, you could tell like that meant something.
Wow. Wow, that's
like,
cool.
There's all the emotional memories because I think what Brett said in the thing was he had like artifacts in a box at his old house and it got stolen.
Oh.
And that was one of the stuff that got stolen and somehow resold on the
Yeah,
market.
resold out there. Yeah.
So that was kind of cool and emotional to see and history with that.
That's cool.
And then the other thing was kind of funny was the sunglasses from the screw job.
Yep.
So with sunglasses at the screw job was a Pete Rosenberg. He's on like the WWE premium live events, the like pre-show stuff. Thought he actually had that pair because some sunglass collector in Montreal like sent him a gift of those sunglasses with a ticket stub and a poster from Survivor Series 97. And while they're doing further investigation, they found out it wasn't the pair. It was just another pair of autographed Bret Hart sunglasses that were just framed. So
cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Of course, if you're out there listening, you want to be part of the show, take that URL, throw it right into your URL spot, and then follow the directions. You'll come right in. We'll bring you in, be part of the show. Art, if you're out there listening,
he's probably asleep right now.
that's how you do it.
I can guarantee he's probably in food coma, passed out.
So I've had a busy couple of weeks, so I've spaced out a little bit on wrestling. Night of Champions is coming up. What's the big draw here? What's going on?
So with Night of Champions, it's back in Saudi Arabia, their annual show. Funny, it's Night of Champions, but the WWE Universal Championship is not being defended.
Yeah.
Roman decided he doesn't want to defend it. It's going to be in a tag team now with his cousin Solo to go against Sammy and Kevin Owens, which is significant because this is like their first time going there, I think, ever. Sammy's Syrian descent. So there was that racial stuff that was going on until I think earlier this year or late last year where they finally made peace.
Yeah.
And now Sammy's going to go over there. It'll be kind of cool to see how the crowd reacts to him. Right now, the Bloodline storyline, what they're doing, it seems like they're trying to rush some stuff. It wasn't as good with before they had the whole breakup thing with Sammy.
Right.
It's kind of running its course, and now they have a consolation belt that they may not have needed after all.
Let's be honest. Everybody's tuning in for which one? Our good friends Becky Lynch
and Trish Stratus.
And Trish.
That's quite the promo last night.
Yeah, I heard, but that's why I'm like, okay.
Becky went after Trish a little bit with the whole dog incident that she was infamous for.
Yeah.
Where McMahon had her strip down her clothes and bark like a dog to keep her job.
Yeah.
And Trish still looks great. Amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Implants don't take hold of gravity. So, Trish, if you're out there listening, we love you. But yeah, still looking good.
Oh,
and
47, 48, like, damn.
Yeah. Well, she probably works out. She's got a trainer.
No, she has the yoga that she's always done.
Yoga, right.
Yeah, like her yoga video DVD. Like I have it. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes I just watch it.
Is she a cowgirl? What's up with the cowgirl hat?
I don't know. The Canadian Stampede kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. The history of. It was just kind of funny when her and Brock Lesnar pretty much came out in the same outfit.
I know. Right.
Who wore it better? The black trench coat and the black cowboy hat.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it looks like my brother's ignoring me as usual.
And of course, Lesnar and Rhodes are going to go at it, even though Rhodes is injured here.
They're saying Rhodes has a broken arm. What I don't like is they're kind of redoing the history of Triple H and Lesnar when Lesnar broke his arm.
Right.
And he came out, fought Lesnar at SummerSlam and beat him. So I'm done with Cody. I was done with Cody.
He
before,
fizzled
but-
fast, right? He didn't carry. I mean, this would have been the time for him to carry the
Right.
torch.
They should have had him won at Mania.
Yeah, but maybe not. I mean, because can he? I don't think he can carry the company.
Who can?
I don't know, but you know what I mean. I mean, if he had it, what storyline do you have? And
Well, if he had it, you could still go with him and Seth,
Yeah.
him and Gunther, you do plenty of different matches, him and Balor, Judgment Day stuff. Like, there's more there than with Roman. Roman, I'm just more annoyed with. He hasn't had any challengers.
yeah,
It's the same challengers every time, and
Every time.
3 years, maybe 8 guys, 9 guys.
yeah.
It's like he still hasn't fought Lashley.
See, but and I think with the Rhodes, all right, the American Nightmare, and he comes out in tailored suits.
All right,
Is that really a nightmare?
that was his AEW shtick.
Yeah, I don't.
And
That's not working for me.
no,
It's
his
just-
ring attire looks good.
yeah,
The song's good.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
It's the same style match every time.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a finisher. Like, you could say the Cody Cutter, but I don't really consider that a finisher.
not really.
It's
Not
not.
really. You know what he reminds me of, if we go back to Rocky Maivia, right? You're like,
Mhm.
hey, there's something there,
Right.
but it's not unwrapped
Not
yet.
quite yet. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's his look. I don't know if it's his inability to work the mic, if it's that little lisp, that Dusty Rhodes lisp a little bit.
The list is not good.
Or if it's you just aren't buying in that he is can do that. Look at this guy coming in.
Hey, he's awake.
Uh-oh, we've got a loop
Oh,
going
we got
on.
bad audio again.
You got to turn down your speakers or put in a. What happened to all your books?
The long story.
I read them. Got rid of them.
Read them. Yeah, you finally got rid of
I
your
read
books.
them all.
About
You know,
damn
got
time.
rid of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I can try plugging in these earbuds. I don't know if that would
Yeah,
make it
try
better.
that.
Try that.
That might help us.
You do sound better than SG3 though.
Whoa. Hey, how are you?
If I can find where the
It would be the one that looks like earphones on the side of the
yes,
laptop.
I know.
Just don't go
I'm
by the
just trying
color
to
code. 'Cause
find
it's colorblind.
where precisely it is located.
It's up your ass and to the right.
Yeah, apparently.
That's the
Pardon me
bottom
as I
line.
try to find
Yeah, no,
it
you
here.
do what you got to do,
Oh,
brother.
there it is.
So yeah, I'm just if we go back to Rhodes, to Cody.
Mhm. Oh, he took down Dusty off the board.
Oh, I don't know what. No, he might be behind the
so.
Pollo Loco hat.
The cock and the doodle do.
That's right. That was funny too. That was good stuff. I'm thinking that it's just where he's at. I don't think he's there yet. So it's like Lashley. There's something there, but he's.
I think they're trying to like recreate the whole Daniel Bryan thing
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
and seeing how long it lasts. Because like Sami Zayn, he was over for a while, and then he's kind of fizzled out when they're kind of forcing Cody. They kind of put some extinguisher on the whole Zayn fire.
Yeah.
But like with Daniel Bryan, it's like, okay, we're going to try to extinguish a fire, but it just kept getting stronger. Like, no, we want Bryan.
Yeah.
And that's where with Cody right now, it's like, I think they're trying to do that, but now they're forcing it too much. And it's like, all right, what's going to happen at Night of Champions? Is he going to do another surprise roll up on Lesnar to get the win and whatnot? You can't say he has a broken arm, because if he has a broken arm, then he's out for months, and you
Right.
need him at Money in the Bank next month. And it's just,
Yeah. Yeah. I
is
know.
Vince back?
Yeah. Maybe. Right. I don't know. Hey, is that better, Art? You got us? Oh, we can't hear
No,
you.
I can't
now.
hear you. You plugged in your microphone.
We'll figure it out.
No, figure it out. With technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well, that's why he reads books.
He's all upset because I didn't come pick him up and bring him over.
Oh, you should have. Yeah.
He's way out of the other way.
The way order.
Way
Yeah,
over
he's
there.
down by.
He's down by like that whole that western
Yeah.
western town.
Yeah, out there, the train
The
station,
train station
way out there over there. Yeah, that's a day trip.
it's a long trip.
Could have Ubered in.
Probably I didn't want to pay for it.
Yeah, I hear ya. Nope, we
No,
still
you
don't
have to-
got you.
Unlike John Cena, we can't hear you.
We can't see you though.
We can see you.
Nope.
Nope.
We'll let you know.
Just keep talking.
yeah.
We just plug in different things. Maybe
So,
check your
but what do you
mic
do?
settings.
I mean, what do you do? Who do you put in there? Roman's taking his vacation.
Because he's probably going to be out till SummerSlam after
Right,
this.
right.
Although he is now being advertised for Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So
Well, he may have to call him in.
I mean, right
what's the
now,
draw?
because on Saturday, I believe is his 1,000-day reign.
Yeah.
And if they want him to break Hulk Hogan's record of like 1,400, whatever days it is, he has to have the championship until like next September, October.
Yeah. So I mean, so what do you do? Who do you put in there? What happens? Where do you go?
I mean, it's kind of like in the mid 90s with you had the Hulk Hogan situation. Who's going to be the next guy?
Yeah.
Let's see who can step up there. We had Brett step up, and after Brett was Shawn, and then Shawn was just a bad era because he had him and Diesel, and that's probably like the worst ratings ever, worst drawing champions in the history.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fine with Shawn Michaels. He's one of the greatest performers of all time, but like he could not draw as a champion. Like probably him and Diesel were probably the two worst drawing champions next to Bob Backlund.
Yeah, Bob was there for a long time,
Right.
but he couldn't draw for anything. Still nothing, Art.
It is fun watching Art trying to figure it
Nope,
out.
still can't hear you. Sign language it or something.
So Art, what you should probably do is put our phone or put your phone on our show and put your headphones in that phone so you can listen to us and not get the feedback. And turn the volume down on your computer.
No, we still lost you. We don't have you.
It shows you mute.
You're mute. Nothing.
The microphone thingy's on.
That's it.
Okay, how about now?
There we go.
Hey.
Okay.
So you can hear me now,
whoa.
but you can't hear me if I put the microphones in. If I put the
The earphones in.
Headphones.
Correct.
yeah,
But now we're getting an echo.
But now we get us.
right.
Kent's producer humor right there. Listen to that echo.
That's right.
No. Turn down your volume or something.
I don't know what it is.
So you can't at all.
I got the echo cancellation on.
No, look at that. Look at all this fun technology stuff you got.
I got the echo cancellation, but it's still echoing. I don't know.
Oh, we got a heart though. I wonder who gave us a heart today.
That's it. One heart.
One heart.
Bret
Hart.
the Hitman. And NXT outside of
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, we got nothing too, right?
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it was funny with the whole like releases a year ago or 2 years ago, and then Triple H bringing guys back.
Yeah.
The guys he brought back have done nothing. We've talked about like last show or two. It's like who's done anything now? Those guys he brought back. Karrion Kross hasn't done anything.
Nope.
Bray Wyatt was probably like the biggest one to come back. That's just a total flop.
Yep.
Johnny Gargano, like no one cares.
Yeah.
Anymore. Dakota Kai, whatever. Now she's hurt. Braun Strowman's now stuck in tag team with Ricochet. I mean, it's just they got to fix something. The rumors now with Raw, maybe the third hour Raw may be a little bit more adult oriented. When SmackDown gets a new hosting partner for their TV show, they may end up going 3 hours. But
yeah,
I mean, it's back to like the whole WCW days when you had 3 hours. That third hour is just a killer.
Yeah, it's brutal. Go ahead, Art.
I was just gonna say, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, no echo.
Is it? Are you getting no echo?
Yeah, we got a little bit. We'll just play with it. Let's go with it.
Kent probably has it more.
Yeah.
Because I can try to turn down the volume more on the speaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn it
If you
down.
think that'll make a difference.
Yeah. No, we'll just go with it.
So Art, we spoke on the phone today. What did you say was the best show on 216 The Net?
Well, the show I listen to the most is your show
There
that
you
I am
go.
currently on right now. Yes.
Let's just go back this way. Do one of these for that. That's wonderful.
What do you think about the reject rundowns, Art?
I have no idea who they are. So
And it doesn't matter who they are because they didn't even
But,
show up tonight. They don't even have the audacity to chime in live or anything anymore. Ever since they won those belts, they've just become a couple of yellow belly humanoids, you know?
So I was reading through the Bleacher Report. I saved it because they give 4 ways of making the WWE interesting again. Number 1, they say, is wrestling variety. Over the year, we've had 1 beat the clock challenge, 2 2/3 falls matches, or 2 out of 3 falls matches, very few falls count anywhere matches, 2 Hell in a Cell matches, few handicap matches, just 1 upcoming TLC match, no buried alive, ultimate submission, casket and the gauntlet matches, and the tornado tag team matches. There's only been 1 in the past 2 years, I believe.
Wow.
So those things are what make things interesting. I mean, if you don't have the mic personalities, the wrestling variety will make you relevant again.
And that's what AEW does, and that's
Right.
what kept them relevant, is because they have a lot of guys that need help on the mic, and it's more the wrestling storytelling within that match. And that's where WWE right now, seemed like when Triple H was kind of in charge when Vince took that little hiatus.
Yeah, quote unquote.
It
Allegedly.
was more wrestling. It was more in-ring storytelling, like him and Shawn Michaels. That's what they were working on. It was less promos. All of a sudden, Vince comes back, and what do we have on that Raw after WrestleMania? All talk.
Yeah.
There's hardly any matches. Nothing made sense. It was one of the worst ones in history.
Yep.
yeah, but don't you think though? I guess you're watching a lot more of this now than I am, but when I do watch it, to me, the wrestling itself feels very samey. And like the things that Kent just mentioned, those are all gimmick matches.
Yeah.
The issue that I see is the majority of the matches that I see, they're very samey in terms of what happens inside the match. Like I watched the last 2 matches at WrestleMania, and they both had basically the same finishes, where they each gave each other their finishing moves like 12 times until finally somebody.
Right.
But it was nearly identical.
Well, that's why, yeah, like every match in a pay-per-view, they're all trying to have that show-stealing match, and there's no true finishers anymore. Everyone's kicking out of a finisher.
Right.
And there's no gimmick wrestlers really anymore, where it's like, this guy's just going to come, squash you in 2 seconds, and be done. Like, that's what they need, too. Omos should have been doing that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know what with Triple H and Vince, it's like the big guys, they just don't have respect for. Like, they just lose that. Have that sense of realism where they just come in and they squash a guy. And I think that was WWE's biggest mistake, is at WrestleMania. They should have had Omos squash Lesnar.
Yeah.
That would have been huge for Omos. It would have done nothing to Lesnar. It wouldn't hurt him at all. But here now you get this next superstar. Then what happens? They then have him lose to Seth Rollins. And it's like, all right, now you have all your top guys and smaller guys beat him. He's not a fear. There's no fear with him.
Right. Yeah. And that's it. So, does it get more exciting? Can you get more Hell in a Cell? What can you do?
Well, the issue, like when they do Hell in a Cell, is they'll do like 2 or 3 matches of Hell in a Cell that night instead of spreading it out. And I know Triple H says he doesn't want to do Hell in a Cell unless it's like the rubber match or the end of feud finale, which the last one with Edge and Balor, it was all right, but got cut short with Balor's injury. Kind of getting stabbed and bleeding profusely.
But see, I would argue the issue is more basic, right? And that's what I was trying to get at. It's that these guys can't tell stories in the ring without help.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And they can't actually tell a coherent story without throwing in 14 gimmicks. And they also can't progress the story in their promos. So when they are talking, it's pointless. So the issue is basically is none of them actually they can do all these fancy maneuvers, but they all do a lot of the same stuff. It all looks very similar.
And it's all spot and set up.
It's all spot and setup, and it doesn't mean anything. So to me, what I connected with when I was really into wrestling was the story that was being told, and going through the emotional journey, right? And that's why Brett was so great, because he could do that, and he could do that in the ring with virtually anybody, and it was engaging, right? And the same thing with Flair and with all those greats, is they could take you on that journey, and it didn't need to be a Hell in a Cell. It didn't need to be a triple threat match. It didn't need to be a chairs and ladders match. You know, all that stuff is great, and you want to have other stuff to spice up the show, but if your core talent can't carry the show doing what they're supposed to be professionals at doing.
Yeah. 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 That point well taken. I'll go with that.
And like with that too, it's like when you watch the NXT live events or pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them, those are really good, and they're actually, for the most part, storytelling matches. They're almost better than the actual pay-per-view itself for that weekend.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, is it because Shawn Michaels is there to kind of help them with that kind of stuff?
Which brings me to another thing that they say could help make him be more interesting again, is bring back those crowd favorites, right? Bring back a Mick Foley to manage Raw.
All right.
Or bring back a Hulk Hogan, because you're going to tune in just to see what they do.
And it may be the last time they show up before they die.
Right.
The way how they're dropping.
And I know Rock is all over the place, but I mean, you bring Rock back, not to wrestle,
right?
But maybe he comes in and he creates a faction.
He's got his daughter there right now. It's like,
yeah,
it's perfect.
Or you bring Cena back to do the same thing, whatever, or to run SmackDown, whatever the case may be. But if you bring back some of the crowd favorites and keep them out of the ring, but have them involved in a way, and again, you remember back in the day where these guys can move a little bit better, than Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
Slide under the ring.
Like Bobby Heenan was always
uppercut to the crotch, roll out, pin. And then you've got some interest back.
Right. And that's where I wonder if we switched AEW with WWE, just switch the brand name, how people would feel. It would be like, oh, hey, look, they have the older guy with the younger guy. I want to see who this younger guy is.
Yeah.
And that's just why I just feel like the issue with AEW is it has it, but it's just missing something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the production quality, like we were saying in previous shows, where WCW had.
I've watched a few of the AEWs, not this past
it's darker.
Week. But yeah, I think a lot of it is just the professional camera angles and how quickly the WWE crew is like pop, 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 pop. So because
like when I said before, like when my dad watched WCW Saturday night, and like I'd watch WWE Superstar or WWF Superstars, I liked it because WWF Superstars was brighter, it was more colorful.
Yeah,
is nicer on the eyes. While WCW, it's like it's really dark there.
Yeah, it was dark. But back in the day though. Art had long hair, and so
longer than mine.
So when we armbarred up, you couldn't tell that they were talking. All right. Well, here's where we're going to set up this move. Yeah. Now everybody's got the short hair or bald or something, and you can see it. So that's where I think the WWE does a better job than AEW. But you're right. I've been watching the bit of the AEW, and I do like that aspect of it.
But see now, Kent, on that point though, I'm gonna again, because there were bald guys in the past, and there were guys with short hair in the past as well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as noticeable. I mean, every once in a while you would see it, but it wasn't a consistent thing, and that's because these guys knew what to do.
Yeah.
And I know these guys they're going through this how many years long training program. They're being developed in the developmental territory or whatever. But I don't understand why they get to the what is supposed to be the big league, and they're so bad at it.
Well,
I guess.
So, to me,
I think. Go on.
To me, there's a piece. You go to a stripper bar, and the stripper leaves some sort of clothing on, so your imagination goes there, right? You go to a total nude bar, and you're disappointed. You're like, ooh, look like 2 fried eggs nailed to a wall. That's no good, right? Right.
For the record, I actually have no direct experience with either of these examples, just to clarify, but I'll agree with you on principle.
You can say that on this show, or you just can't say it on the Wednesday at noon show.
So what I'm saying is maybe they need to cut the crap. They're trying to build the story so much in the back, in the locker room, outside the ring.
Yeah.
Where what I agree what Art's saying is, hey, I'd run into the ring, hit you with a chair, run out, and then that's where the feud began. And you were always looking over your shoulder. I didn't have to say anything, right?
Right.
I would just come in and ruin a couple of your matches, and now we're going.
Right. Well, and that's why in the old days they weren't stories; they were angles, right?
Yes.
Because you didn't need a 3-act plot to follow.
That's a good point.
And also in the older days, it was a slower build up because you had every 3 months for the pay-per-view, 3 or 4 months. Now it's all rushed for like, oh, hey, we got a pay-per-view live event in 2 weeks. So let's throw shit together and see if it sticks.
Yeah. So I that was another thing that the Bleacher Report said is cut the crap, right? Just go back to get out of the locker room and watching somebody tie their shoe and somebody come in and you punk them out. You know what I mean? Cut all that crap and put the stories back in the ring.
But I would say on that would be like when Bray Wyatt came back, those kind of scenes matter because you're getting something in the background that was hinting towards
but
the
not
return.
not everyone.
Right.
Once in a while.
Once in a while, it's fine. But I mean, that's where it became more interesting.
And do what Art said. Get away from the stories and go back toward the angles.
Because I think that was AEW's original success. It was just shut up and wrestle.
Right.
There wasn't talking. There wasn't no
you had a lot of the story was made up in your mind.
Right.
Like I said, when I saw DDP and Raven lifting weights together, right. I was deflated. I was like, you guys hate each other. What are you doing? But that's the way I held them. And a lot of that story was made up in my mind too.
Right.
You're just like, man, I'd hate to be back in that locker room. Those guys hate each other.
Right. And it's like when you
and they used to have separate locker rooms,
right?
And they would stay in separate hotels because they had to maintain,
stay in character.
As well as there was a Hacksaw and the Sheik when they got busted.
Oh yeah,
there's a whole national news story here. They're supposed to be in this major feud, U.S. against the Iraqi or Iranian, wherever he was from at that time, and they both get busted for drugs in the same car.
Iron Sheik and Hogan was always a big one too.
Sheik always hated Hogan.
And then the last thing that the Bleacher Report says is get a better commentary team.
Yes.
The guys on those mics, I mean, are horrible.
Corey Graves is the worst.
Horrible. Let's just be honest.
Horrible. He's trying too much to be like Ventura and isn't. And
I appreciate you tuning in, but you're horrible. There you go.
And like Cole, he's just the voice you're used to hearing for so many years now. It's not Jerry the King and Jim Ross together.
It's a slobber knocker.
It's not Bobby Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon.
Jimmy Ross made you think that this was the absolute worst fight that was ever brought into America. I mean, he just had the ability to be like, oh, man, he's stomping a mud hole. You know what I mean? He threw some weird shit out there. and it was brilliant.
Right.
You know?
And him and like having a color commentator like Lawler where he could feed off that and react. It was perfect. And then now you get these guys where it's like all Corey Graves does is just make fun of whatever Brian Saxton's wearing.
Yeah.
And that's it. And Nigel, like, I don't even know his name. And I mean, Wade Barrett's better on SmackDown. Cole and McAfee was actually turning out to be good, and then McAfee got the deal for ESPN, and that kind of deflated that.
Hey, bring Coachman back.
I like Coach. Yeah,
Coach was good.
Booker T was fine.
Yeah, Booker was all right. Yeah, and yeah, I would take him back.
And I wish what they would have really done is when Santino Morello was available, when they had him start doing like some commentary, I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah. Taz was good too.
Taz was good too.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's AEW. They have that.
Yeah.
I like their commentators. They have Excalibur, Ross, Shivani, Taz, and then Jericho on Rampage.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like they have the announcers, they have the backstage host and Renee Paquette or Ambrose, whatever you want to call her last name. They have the talent. They just don't have the right mixing pot, blender, whatever. And what they're going to do in Wembley Stadium. I mean, they'll get Osprey there. WWE's removed Drew McIntyre from everything right now. No advertising and not even mentioning them at all. So he may be possibly released.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Art. Go ahead, Art. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna. How is AEW doing in terms of ratings and finances? I mean, are they?
Finances are doing fine because they have Tony Khan with the endless pocketbook.
Well, but I mean, are they actually? Are they actually like? Are they selling out houses? Are they? Are people actually? How many people are actually watching the product? I guess
6 billion people showed up to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So with
well,
that,
I get. I heard Triple H's post WrestleMania, whatever that was, press conference, which was diatribe, right? Which was interesting. Yes, because I'm listening to you now, Tom, here, and you're saying all these things that are actually kind of making me think, well, maybe I should watch a little more AEW. That I might like that more than what is currently on offer in the WWE. So,
well, and that's like where like Meltzer had like the whole rating system and awards for like last year. AEW had most of the best awards, best show for Dynamite. Raw was worst show. Corey Graves worst announcer. They had like match of the year with Omega.
Do people still pay attention to Dave Meltzer in 2023?
Some do, but
wow,
he's been more like anti WWE. So the AEW marks like myself will.
I don't even think the refs are as good as Earl Hebner used to be, right?
Well, is it because I don't want to say sexist thing, but with the females there, it's like the guys can't touch them.
Right.
They're not going to touch them.
Right. Can't. Yeah.
Well, like when you had Nick Patrick there or Dangerous Danny Davis, like you loved the one they got knocked out.
Right. Yep.
And Hebner was one of the best ones to get like knocked out too. And
duck under the drop kick and hammer Nick. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
Off he goes.
But I mean, then
are any of the female refs former female talent that know how to take bumps?
I don't think so.
If you know what I mean.
They may have done like NXT or some developmental stuff, but like they were never like an actual on-screen talent. I just lost my train of thought, but it's because let's see, Aubrey Edwards is like the head AEW ref. She does most of Jericho's matches. I mean, they're fine with what they do, but it's like you just know they're not going to get knocked out.
Yeah.
There's not going to be another ref. Right.
It takes away a piece of that story. Again, the angle. Was the ref in on it? Was the ref not in on it?
Then you see him like go check their earpiece, like, oh, okay. And then he goes up to the wrestler, go home.
Yeah.
we got to wrap this up. And then it's like you right away, like on Raw or Dynamite, it's like, all right, well, the finish is coming now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man, we got a caller.
we got a caller for our show, or for just for you?
Yeah, it's just from
Oh, just for Kent's got a special call. I don't get a call. I have one viewer, which is probably Art, and one Heart, which could be maybe my mom. She usually tunes in later. She'll watch it after Dave's show on Wednesday
Hmm.
because I'm second favorite.
Well, I
But
don't remember. I don't remember if I told you, Tom. So after watching WrestleMania, I got an email from WWE for a free NFT of either Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns. So I got my first NFT for free.
nice.
And I have an NFT. I went with the American Nightmare because he's who I wanted to win the match.
Yeah.
Just because I was tired of Roman 5 years ago. So
this Roman's better than Roman 5 years ago.
I fully agree with you, but I was tired of him 5 years ago. So that's just me personally.
So now I remember what I was going to talk about with the AEW thing. So like where you're asking about their financial situation. So they're starting another show June 17th on Saturday night called Collision. And what I found funny with that, Eric Bischoff says like it is blatant plagiarism of the old WCW Monday Night Nitro logo. So Ken, I don't know if you want to bring that up. We try to look up AEW Collision logo compared to WCW Monday Night Nitro logo. It is. It's kind of like our 216 The Net shirts with the Raw logo.
Yeah.
Our 216 The Net NWO logo. Like it is
AEW
Collision logo. So Kent's bringing it up right now for all those live streaming. And you can put that next to the WCW Nitro logo. And it is pretty much identical with just.
Oh. Let me find one.
It's the original one. So yeah, or the Monday Nitro.
This one.
No, not that one.
No, not that one.
Down to right.
That one.
No, to the left, middle, right there.
Oh.
So you put that one next to.
All right, so let me share this. Let's go Collision. Here's the Collision logo. Share that to you. There it is. It's so terrible. I'm laughing. All right, we got that. Everybody's got that, right? All right, let's stop sharing that. And then let's go into, whoops, wrong one. Let's go into here. And that's the WCW.
So it's pretty much the same fonts on top, same color scheme,
Same color scheme.
and TNT on the bottom.
And TNT on the bottom.
Well, but the sad thing is the WCW logo still looks better than the new one.
Yeah.
That new logo
yeah.
looks awful.
The new one was, I mean, that was like right after Brett won when like
and
Goldberg
it is
knocked
not
his head
because
out.
it says Saturday and not Monday. Yeah.
See, it's a slight differences. Like our shirt says 216 The Net. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't say Monday Night Raw or
That's
anything.
correct.
Totally different.
Totally different.
I don't know what Bischoff is talking about.
It's great. Hey, it's slight difference, you know. McDonald's or McDonald's. It's
Wasn't Whack Arnold's?
Whack Arnold's. Oh,
we got the golden W's.
yeah. Since our last show, right? Billy Graham passed away.
Yeah, Billy Graham, superstar Billy Graham. I honestly
Yeah.
thought he died years ago.
I did too.
I don't know how many times he's been on his deathbed, but like I think like 10 years ago they're saying, like, oh, he's not doing well,
Right.
and
So, well, give me the most unique thing about superstar Billy Graham that sticks out most in your mind with that guy.
well, it's how I mean his career was before I was born, but watching like the old video stuff of him, how influenced he was to Hulk Hogan. Like when Hogan came out as Hollywood Hogan, he started doing the feather boa, and it's like and Jesse Ventura too. It's like they all got that look from him.
Yeah.
He was an original.
Yeah.
And those guys just copied it.
Art, what give us the Billy Graham?
Yeah, I mean it's really the same because as I mean his kind of his peak, his professional peak was in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Which was before we were watching. But yeah, I mean it did, both Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan. I mean they directly from the very beginning.
For sure.
Right, both of their like the whole body thing that Jesse did was lifted hook, line, and sinker from Superstar. And all of all not just Hollywood Hogan, but Hulk Hogan from the very beginning in the WWF. Like, so was
Blonde
also
hair.
the blonde hair, the 24-inch pythons, the whole the tan look, the whole thing. And it all so it seems to be very very clear that was the template that Hulk Hogan and Vince Jr. wanted to run with, especially post Bob Backlund.
Yeah, Bob.
And then, of course, yeah, and of course it was the most that led to the biggest boom in the history of the wrestling business throughout the 80s and then eventually into the late 90s.
Yeah, that's when they got to start getting more of the television rights, and because like Superstar was just in a territory, so not a lot of people saw that.
The thing that threw me off was his voice. A little bit higher, you were just like this big dude, right? Because I was back in the late 70s. I was 9-10 years old. Of course, we would watch that. And he had those big chops, and he was a big fella. I mean, back in the day. But then that voice always threw me off. Like, that guy should be down here. He's so big.
Right.
He kind of had that high, squeaky voice,
And he had that falling out with Vince years ago, and then like didn't like the product with all the trash, is what he would call it, and like want to be removed from the Hall of Fame. And now with his passing, I'm kind of curious to see what are they going to do. Are they going to do now the documentary next year for A&E, and are they going to start selling
Dark Side of the Ring
Billy Graham merchandise because now they're profiting off that? It's like whenever a wrestler dies, they start selling that merch and they're getting kickbacks from it, and they don't have to share.
They own it.
They own it. They own the image.
I mean,
hey, you can't negotiate. Like, hey, we got the footage of you, and
and Vince will always take advantage of that.
Yep,
it's money, baby. It's money. Another personal, just money.
It's business.
Yeah. So you take a look at this guy. What was he? 80.
I thought he was 80 years ago.
That's
he's like Steve Martin to me. He always looked the same.
Steve has looked good for a long time. So,
well, yeah, he aged badly because of the not just the abuse in the ring, but apparently all the steroid usage also just messed up his entire body. So
99.
No, that's Robert Billy Graham.
Sorry. Well, man, he was old too. 79.
And well, it's kind of funny. It's like whenever someone would say Billy Graham, I always thought the wrestler, not the evangelist.
Right. I know. I did too. He was 79 years old.
Yeah, and so I would have guessed he was 79 20 years ago.
Yeah.
The way that he looked physically. So.
Wow, yeah, because I think it was like 10 or 15 years ago when he had that falling out and tirade against WWE.
Yeah.
And I thought he was in his 70s then. But yeah, you look at the physique, like
that guy.
I mean, there he looks like Jesse Ventura, or Jesse Ventura looks like him.
Yeah. Man, let's pull that. Let me pull that up and share that. Stop sharing that. That one there. Look at this. Look at this. I know this makes for bad radio, but look at that guy.
Well, most of our audience zooms in or watches live.
Got the Hulk Hogan Goldilocks going on there. Look at that. Ripped.
No steroids. All natural.
All natural. A little
now Ken is just clicking on the images to see all the
yeah,
stuff.
he was something, man, this guy.
Yeah, he had the tie dye. It was colorful. The look.
The Hogan look
Well,
there.
yeah, because I think he was really the first. Like there were guys that were good looking, and then there were guys that were muscle men or like big powerful guys prior to him. But
Yeah.
he was the first one with the real true bodybuilder look in wrestling.
Yeah.
He wasn't the fat blob that came out of the bar.
Or even like Bruno Sammartino, who certainly looked like he could mess you up, but he didn't have the sculpted definition,
The action
right, of
figure.
a bodybuilder.
Like these guys.
This one he kind of looks like Joe Rogan. Man, I remember that guy. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dude was a
Dude.
monster, man.
Is that Batman or Robin shirt?
I think that's Batwoman.
Batwoman.
Again, we go back to the strip club. See,
Hey,
leave
Oh.
something to your imagination.
hands off the merchandise.
Dude was big. Thinking about what I said earlier about bringing some of the old, your favorites back. The sad thing is they're all
dead.
deflated now.
Deflated or dead?
I mean, Kurt Angle looks like 17 miles of bad road.
Yep.
And he didn't, You take a look at Big Papa Pump. He looks like a sex doll that's been deflated for 5 days. I mean, it doesn't look good.
Well, this is the problem when your old favorites are from 20 years ago,
I know.
and you don't have any newer favorites except for like John Cena, and even that's all you got.
I mean, you have Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's now like making wedding cakes.
Right.
And he,
Stone Cold
like,
can come back and do a good job, right? He doesn't have to be as big as he was.
no, you just have him come in, kick someone, do the
Right.
stunner, and that's it. As long as you get a leg up, just don't stun Vince.
Right. Yeah. Oh God, no. That's horrible. Might stun that mustache off.
I think Vince needs to stay off of camera as much as possible going forward.
I would agree. Yeah, look. Even take a look at the Hogan on the lunchbox. Yeah, got his bandana, everything on, like
Superstar.
Superstar.
Yep.
Yeah. Tan. That brother always looked like a saddle.
Leather.
Leather saddle. Yeah.
Still does.
All right, so we've got about 5 minutes left in the show. 6-7 minutes. So we're taking a look at the Night of Champions.
All right, so I got the card here.
Yep, let's talk about it.
All right, so here's the card. There's not that many matches.
There's not.
So Bianca Belair versus Asuka, a rematch from WrestleMania. We have, and that's for it says a Raw Women's title. It should be a SmackDown Women's title.
So that's a good one there. It was a good match at WrestleMania.
Bad build-up.
Bad build-up. Good
Asuka
match.
should have won that match,
So does
especially
she-
with Muda there.
So does she pull it out?
I don't think so.
Because that's what everybody wants.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bianca's become the female Cena of this generation.
Yeah.
I still love Bianca, so I'm not going to complain about that.
Right.
And you're repeating the same match that was what 2 pay-per-views ago?
Pretty much.
One
Yeah.
pay-per-view ago.
Yeah.
Wait, was there another? Wasn't there was Backlash?
There is
already?
Backlash in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
They don't
See,
wrestle around.
I can't keep them all straight. There's too many of them.
I know there's too many now. I agree with you.
Then you have Gunther against Mustafa Ali. When they started doing that whole Raw thing of tournament for it and they're going to face a Night of Champions, once you heard Ali's name in it, you knew he was going to win it. Because they always have him wrestling Saudi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, and it's going to be another hometown guy that loses. Because that's just the WWE thing to do. We're going to go to your hometown. They're going to cheer and probably praise you after your match, but you're going to lose the match. Did it with Selena.
And they'll go
They did it with
full-time.
Sammy.
It's not going to be a quick one. That'll go full time with it. Right.
I'd laugh if it was a squash.
Ah,
Then let's see. New World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. That'll probably be the match of the night. I'm rooting for Styles because I can't stand Rollins, but looks like Rollins is probably going to win it with the whole him.
Why don't you like Seth?
You know I don't like Seth.
I like Seth.
You got the whiny ass voice. Hurts guys. Not safe in the ring.
I like him. That's my guy, though. You say
I
that-
did like him against the Roman Reigns match. That was a great match.
You say that about.
I liked Seth when he first came out in with the Shield. He was my favorite of the Shield guys, and then just over time, just. But he'll probably win because he's going to be starting a new Captain America movie, New World Order, and they're probably going to want him to have the belt around to showcase it.
And he's also going to win because I would like AJ Styles to win, and so that will never happen because whoever I want to win
I think
is the
the issue
polar
with
opposite.
AJ, because our wins make sense.
Yes.
And that's the thing with AJ, like this is his first time really back since his injury.
It's the injury, right?
And they really didn't have him do anything since. So it's like, okay, who are we going to put against Seth? And I swear to God, if Seth injures AJ,
Yeah. All right. It's going to be a good match, though. I think that's one you're going to want to watch.
And then we got Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Right, Kent. I hope Brock just squashes him.
I mean,
you're a Cody guy.
Yeah, but you know what? But then he didn't. He fizzled. I like. Listen, I liked Cody when he battled through that peck, and I'm like, okay, you're earning your stripes.
Yeah.
And now he just, it's like I got an M80. I'm watching the fuse go. I'm excited, and then it was a smoke bomb. I spent good money for that M80, and all it did was
that's
smoke.
your AEW reject right there.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I wanted him to win at WrestleMania, and that didn't happen. And so it's like, and I'm kind of, I haven't invested as much in Cody Rhodes as Kent has, but it's kind of the same feeling.
Yeah.
I don't really care what he does now because the time for the moment was at WrestleMania,
Yes, exactly.
and you blew it.
And you
It's
could say
done.
like you want to do it next WrestleMania. It doesn't matter next.
It doesn't matter. It's done.
I mean, are they trying to redo the whole Shawn Michaels thing where he lost WrestleMania 11 and then came back one at 12?
Really?
And then he had more fanfare with him at 12 than he did at 11.
Listen,
But I don't see that.
the angle now has to. He's got to be a heel. He's got to lose this, and then he's got to play the heel. That's his angle. And then
He's selling too much merch.
I know, but he's got to play the heel. I mean, you got to take that. If he's going to be the guy, he's got to turn heel.
He's got to get some AEW guys there, start a stable, and that will be his saving grace, and win it as a heel champion.
Yep,
No,
you're right. I agree, 100%.
Man, this is great with you on the show, not SG3. They're like, this is the best show ever.
Jibber jabbering.
Jibber jabbering, talking nonsense. And then match more likely will probably be the main event. Would be Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Roman and Solo for the tag titles. I think Jimmy and Jay cost Roman and Solo.
Yeah.
But it's another one of those where it's like Kevin and KO won at WrestleMania. Now who cares?
Yeah, but that's got the potential to be a good match.
It will be a good match. It'll be entertaining.
Entertaining, yeah.
And that was the thing. The Bloodline's been carrying WWE the last 2-3 years.
True.
If you did not have that storyline, you weren't watching.
As much as I hate to say it, that's true. As much as I hate to say it.
Yeah, we got this all.
I would concur. I mean, the Bloodline stuff was the most, when they were doing promos, those were by far the most interesting things whenever they were doing that.
Yeah.
So,
and I think you got to give a lot of that to Paul. Paul's done a great job. And again, I'm not one of my favorite guys, but he's done a hell of a job.
I hated him when he first was up,
Yeah.
when he was Paulie Dangerously, and
Yeah.
I couldn't stand him. And when he was first doing commentary on Raw, and now it's like time gone by, I like him. It's like Dominic Mysterio.
Well,
I couldn't stand him for a while.
Still can't.
Now I like Dom.
Still can't.
You can't.
but I would argue with Paul Heyman, it's because he knows what he's doing.
Right.
And he's such a master because he's been doing this for how many years now? What, going on 40 plus years. He knows how to work the mic, he knows how to work the crowd, and he's brilliant at it. On camera, he's brilliant, and there's nobody else like him, right? Back in the day, going back 30 years ago, it was easier to dislike him because you had Jim Cornette and you had Bobby Heenan and you had all these other
Harvey
guys.
Whippleman.
Yeah, Harvey Whippleman, right? You had a whole bunch of guys that could all do that thing, and now he's kind of, at least in the WWE, he's kind of the last man standing that can do those promos like that and sell them.
He's really the last of kind of the old school.
Yeah. So I also think too. I think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to win, because I think if you're going to keep the belt, the other belt, on Roman for 1,400 days or whatever stupid idea they have, you got to have him lose elsewhere. So.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing is, like, when he first won the belt from Lesnar a year ago, unifying it, whatever, they were still calling it both different belts. He could have defended one belt for one pay-per-view and another belt for the other pay-per-view and still keep the one for the record and drop the other one. But now it's just like, now we got big gold with a W in the middle.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's better than what they have right now for Roman, but
I like it.
It's an improvement, but it's still not as good as the old belt.
Yeah.
And now we got to talk more.
Either old belt, yeah.
I know we're running over time. I don't care. It's my damn show. We started late. We got to talk about the AEW pay-per-view this weekend. And probably no one's going to watch on my show or the Rejects.
Correct.
But my AEW puts on great pay-per-views. The issue is they're just too damn long. And you fizzle out after like the first 2 hours. And it's like hour 3 and 4 goes by, and then it's main event time and you're gassed. Like, condense it. But like right now they have AEW World Championship match. It's the 4 pillars match. So it's the 4 pillars of AEW, where it's MJF, the champion, against Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and Darby Allin. It's going to be a great match, fatal 4-way kind of match. It's 4 AEW originals. It's not outsiders they brought in. So, I mean, that's kind of like the old WCW days where you had Steen, Flair, Luger, like just going at Sid or whoever. Sid was probably a bad choice with that name. Vader. That's the guy I was trying to think of. Women's Championship, Jamie Hayter champion versus Toni Storm. Hoping Toni Storm wins that back and join their female version of the NWO there with her and Paige. Ruby Riott or Ruby Soho. Tag team championship match is FTR versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett's still looking good.
Yeah, still.
But mid-50s or whatever. Jay Lethal, he's trademarking the name Black Machismo that I used to have in TNA. He's probably one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. That I think WWE missed the ball on not getting him. Yeah. And by the way, that's where Cody Rhodes stole the Cody Cutter from. It was the Lethal Injection. The guy that they are treating like the Big Show, Wardlow, versus Christian Cage for the TNT Championship. I think that's Kent's favorite belt, if I'm not mistaken.
What is the TNT Championship?
The TNT Championship. So they have a TNT Championship for the men and TBS Championship for the women.
We're in the era of everybody's got to have a participation. So we decided to make the next will be the Channel 9 News title.
That'd be an awesome title.
Well, I was going to ask, are they doing that in the spirit of the old the old TV title, right? You remember
Pretty much.
The TV champion?
Well, they also have all the Ring of Honor belts.
Right.
Jeez.
And so then you got the TBS Championship, where it's their female version of Goldberg that they're trying to do in Jade Cargill against Taya Valkyrie. And here's another one. AEW International Championship Blackjack Battle Royal, where it's Orange Cassidy. He's an original guy. I enjoy his matches, especially when he's got Danhausen with him. It's entertaining. Anarchy in the Arena match. It's the Blackpool Combat Club where it's Bryan Danielson, Cesaro, Moxley, Wheeler Yuta versus the Elite, Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks. That'll be a fun match. It'll be different, but I mean, it's going to be your typical street brawl, Chicago street fight kind of match. And then an unsanctioned match with Chris Jericho and Adam Cole, baby. That'll be a good match. Jericho still at his age puts on great matches.
Yeah.
So I mean, overall, I mean that's a more solid card than Night of Champions. Yeah. I say if you put WWE's name on that and switch it, you're gonna be like, oh, WWE is so much better.
I think you're right. I gotta start watching that AEW stuff.
But my issue with AEW right now is because they're on the same time as the NBA playoffs, which I know Ket's favorite thing right now, NHL playoffs.
I'm done.
And
Lakers are out. I'm done.
I mean, and that's the issue. It's like if you miss Dynamite, then you don't know what time Rampage is on Friday because they're telling you what time Rampage is on Friday on Dynamite. And usually it's 9 o'clock, but now it's before the game or before SmackDown. So it's at 6 or 5 o'clock. And it's like you can never figure it out.
No.
I think that's what also hurts them too.
That's it.
That's kind of like the Rejects, the inconsistent schedule in the show.
Never know.
You never know what time they're on.
All of a sudden, I get alert.
You go tune in.
It's Monday at 3:30 in the afternoon. Rejects round. What?
Do they does AEW stream online? Like if you miss the live show on TNT?
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah.
They're
going to HBO Max.
They're going to HBO Max.
They're going to be a Max? Okay.
They should be. And then usually you can watch YouTube clips or their Facebook page usually has. That's the thing. Don't get their pay-per-view because the Facebook page is showing their match every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Clips of it, so you kind of get the basic sense.
Well, now that I know that they're going to be on HBO Max or Max as it just became today.
Just Max.
I will see if I can track them down on there and watch something.
Give us your password and log in. All right. Listen, we've got to go. We're only about 7 minutes over now.
You can find me.
You know what I'm saying? But we can't thank you enough for hanging out with us, Art. Let me tell you something, brother. Good show. The second and fourth Tuesdays of every month at 8 p.m. Central.
We'll eventually get that change in the opening.
We're working on it someday. I don't know. Anyway,
once Kent got that fix, or once he did it,
right?
This is when we switched the show time to 8.
Yeah, now I got to figure out how to do it 8. All right,
we go
guys.
back to 7:15.
Hey, everybody, take care, enjoy, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
And best of luck in all your future endeavors.
There you go.
All right.